Well, here we are for the kind of maybe the final time this evening.
It could well be.
We've decided to come out of the bothy.
That's it. Jim and George have come out.
Jim and George have come out of the potting shed. They've come out of the bothy, and we're now sitting under the pergola in Clark's garden. And I just
with the tulips in the background.
We've got some lovely tulips in the background, and a couple of other acers and stuff like that. So we thought we'd come out here just for our final wee tasting just now. Tonight we're going to look at the Balcomie, which is a Kingsbarns. Clark and I have worked out that this is probably a 7-year-old, and we've got the driver's jams because obviously that's what we had from being at Kingsbarns recently, the two of us ourselves. So there's not as much in the glass.
There really isn't. No. There's enough to smell.
Much disappointment. There is not much in the glass for us to taste. But hey ho, that's how it goes.
That's how it goes.
So
we've got enough to sniff it.
You can see again. Let me just bring it up. It's a lot lighter compared to what we had with the PX Pedro Jimenez cask that we had earlier on. But it's maybe slightly darker than the one that we had from Isla. So we're going to have a wee nose at this one.
Yeah, we are indeed.
And there's a wee hint of sherry in that, Clark.
There is,
very, very.
But it was done in a sherry cask.
I will. That's a good point. Well made, Clark. That's a fair point. It's well made.
I thought I would state the obvious here.
Right. So it's made in a sherry cask, so there is a wee bit of sherry on the nose.
There's not much else.
And to be fair, I'm not getting any else. A wee hint of that spice again. A wee bit. Right, we're ready?
Right, let's do this.
Let's do it. Slange, folks. Oh, that's a nice dram. That's a wee. There isn't much in it, so it's not. I never took a mouthful. I just took a wee drop of that.
That's quite different from what we've had.
Very different. Very different.
Quite sweet again.
Very sweet. And it leaves a dryness on its finish.
It does, that's right.
When it comes to the end of it. So that's interesting. It doesn't pack the sherry punch that the previous one did,
not at all.
Compared.
No.
Having it been done in a sherry cask, I don't know how long they finished it for, whether it's 6 months, 3 months, or whatever.
I would suspect, I don't know for definite, but I would suspect that the Dreamy Dram was a 3.5-year-old. Right?
Okay.
And what they've done is, at that point, they've put some of it in a sherry cask.
Right.
Because if you look at the what's it called, the Ducat, which is a 7. Right. So they've just doubled the time it's been in a barrel. I think at some point what they've done is they've taken some, put it in the sherry cask, and then that's it. So you've probably got it's probably started off in your oak cask and it's been finished in the sherry cask for the last 3.5 years.
Because the Dreamy Dram was a 3.5-year-old when we started, and splitting them between the two has given them the Ducat and given us the Balcomie.
That's what I would guess.
Well, there'll be one way to find out, and I'll maybe make a phone call just to ask them, ask them the question, and we can always come back to you.
Say Clark got it completely wrong.
Here's what really happened. But the lads up there are fantastic. So
it's great.
It was a great time up there. In fact, it's a pity we couldn't have a couple of them on tonight. I did talk to them about coming on and doing some ways at some point, but this has been quite impromptu. We might get them to come on when we're going to do the Ducat, because we're doing Balcomie tonight. We have got the Ducats together, so we'll do the Ducat at some point in the future. But Kingsbarns, if you've never been, I know it's not a long established distillery, but for what it's done in the last kind of 10 years, it's just phenomenal. The story is brilliant. I just love the fact that it was a caddy that came up with the idea. I love the fact that the Weems family have invested in it and taking it to where it is just now. So there's a lot of stuff that you can go, and the wee tour. I mean, it might be the wrong thing for me to say, but for £14, it's a great hour spent. It was. I don't think you need to necessarily spend, because of the history, I don't think you need to spend 2 or 3 hours there. But for an hour, great hour spent, great drams at the end of it, reasonably priced malt whisky, because I think it cost me for a bottle of Duke £45. So it's not an expensive dram to buy.
And it's a good dram.
And it is. So it is worthwhile. Get yourselves up to Kingsbarns. Go and visit the distillery. Go and buy some mere malt whisky and invest in what they're actually doing, because I think it's an absolutely superb place to go and see. We're going to finish this off. We're going to have a wee taste of this and we'll talk about how we're going to score it, Clark.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not sure if I can score it I can't score it as high as our previous one that we've just had.
No, it's not as good as the previous one. But it is nice. But it's not as good as the previous one.
But see, if I was having a choice between this and the Colila we did earlier on, I would actually prefer to have one of these than the Colila Mock. So, how am I going to score this? I'm going to score it 20s across the board.
Right. I think that's fair. Right. That's what I did. That's actually what I did with Colila. But I think that's a fair score.
So I think I'm going to give this an 80 on it. I think it's a broad wee dram for its age as well. You know, and again, we talk about this, and we have done in previous, occasions when we've met together, and we've discussed the drams that we've been having. Well, you didn't need to buy a 25-year-old, an 18-year-old. There are plenty of non-age statement malt whiskies out there that are absolutely fantastic. So please don't think because it's a young whisky, it's not going to be good, and you're going to have to go and spend a lot of money and buy a 25-year-old or whatever, because that's not always the case. Don't get me wrong, there are some really, really fantastic drams that have matured over time, but I think some of the guys that are out there that are making whisky at the moment, it's just absolutely fantastic. So thanks again to Kingsbarns for the driver's drams that we've had this evening, and we will catch you some other evening. We're going to go head off now, get indoors before it gets too dark and too cold today, something like this, and have another couple of drams ourselves. You never know, we might actually just, when we're in the house, log in and get another dram.
Yeah, you
can never tell it's going to be one of these kind of nights. Thanks again, folks. Have a lovely time. Cheers now. Bye-bye.
Bye.